Today I'm going to share with you 5 natural ways to fight postnatal depression or any kind of depression. Nowadays we're living in a life when actually too much change is happening. Everybody gets locked down in their houses, gets isolated, so then they all, or not all, but lots of them are becoming depressed. So I wanted to address this situation um, to be able to help you all to solve this problem in your life, because it's really important to talk about depression and postnatal depression. So if you don't know me, my name is Time Ashraf and I come from Hungary, from a poor family. And I was always a high achiever in the school. I did everything I could to be on the top of the class. I did all the extra homeworks. I was in every extra classes. I helped the teachers whenever they needed it. I decorated the rooms with them. I've been in the choir, or how do you say that, in the, when you're singing in front of everyone. I've been in an acting group. I played the flute. I was playing basketball, football. I was a dancer for 11 years. So I was always right where the actions happen. I was always in the middle of everything. Then there some big changes happened in my life when I was about 24 years old. I ended up being homeless. I lost a huge part of my life. I lost my family. I lost my job. But one thing I didn't lost my hope. And that is really important in life, not losing hope. So what I did, I moved the country, moved into the UK to start a real new life. And so very quickly I find a partner in the life. I got married with my husband, and then we've been living together and working together. And then I got pregnant, which is a great news. Um, but the bad news about that I've been told by the doctor that I have to take rest, I have to be careful what I'm doing to make sure to protect the baby. So I needed to take extra care. What am I doing? How am I doing? Where am I going? How much weight I'm lifting, or whatever, everything. So when I ended up losing my job again in the early stage of pregnancy. And imagine the fact that I was always everywhere, always wanted to do everything, and then I eventually ended up in my own home, surrounded by the four walls, non-stop, 24/7, having no one to talk to, because my husband has to work all the time to bring the money home to be able to get along financially. So I felt like being in a jail. And on that time, I didn't know, but I was really depressed and isolated. That brings me to the first tip of how to fight depression and postnatal depression. So the first tip is to address the issue. It's really important to know that you have a problem. If you don't know and you just ignore it, or just don't want to know, or just don't want to face, or feeling ashamed about it and don't want to talk about it, don't want to address it, then it's gonna lead to a bigger problem, because depression and postnatal depression can damage your whole life. So how do you know if you have a depression? There are some signs to look for. Signs like losing interest in doing things what you like is like, for example, I was a dancer for 11 years, but when I ended up being in my home, I didn't want to do anything. I was just sitting on my sofa like a statue, doing nothing, or just staring at the TV or whatever. I had no intention of putting on the music or start dancing or anything. I lost all my passion about anything I had, even though I have hundreds of thousands of passions in the world. The other sign is being really moodiness. When one moment you are happy or just not sad, the next moment you're angry, then you fight with someone for no reason, then you just frustrated, then you're just feeling down, you're feeling useless, you're feeling like, why am I in here? Why am I even being here? What am I doing here? When you're feeling like you should not be living at all, that's a huge problem. And when we on that situation, we need to make sure to address that. Otherwise, if we ignore these feelings, if we ignore all this, it could lead to really, really damage your whole life. Other signs you can look for is like losing all your social interaction. You're not talking with your friends, you're not talking with your family, you're not going to your groups, you're not going out of the house, you're not going to shopping, nowhere, nothing at all. When you don't have any interaction at all, that's another sign that you have a problem, so you need to look into it. When you address that you had an issue in your life that you need to work on, that you have a depression, the next step in your life is you have to go to tip number 2 of how to fight with depression on postnatal depression. And tip number 2 is don't let anyone tell you what you have to do or how you have to feel in your life. A lot of us try to be perfect for everybody around us. A lot of us try to please everyone. We want to be dressed well so others can see how nice we look. We want to keep our house clean like a museum so anyone can anytime walk in and it looks nice and fresh and everything. We want to cook meals like if we are a 5-star chef whenever anyone come to show up that, oh, how great we are. But you know what? Life is not about that. If you don't enjoy it, then you're just wasting your time. You have to sit down and think through what's important in your life for you, not for others, for you. For example, in my life, I don't like anything what women usually do. I always felt that it's the biggest punishment in my life that I'm born as a female because we need to do all these household chores 24/7 all forever in our whole life. And I hate washing dishes, I hate cleaning the clothes, I hate ironing, I hate doing all this stuff. But I have no choice, I have to do that. But when it comes to this tip number 2, don't let others tell me what to do, there I had my own decision that I will only spend my time cleaning the house once or maximum twice a day. And if during the day it gets messy, it got messy. I have 2 kids. I can't keep the house non-stop clean like a museum. If you want to come and visit me, I'm happy to have you, but let me know in advance. So if I know you're coming, I'm definitely going to clean the house for you to be in a nice and fresh and clean house. But I don't want to waste my whole life and my whole day spending in the kitchen, scrubbing the walls, scrubbing the cupboards, cleaning the windows and whatever forever in my life. I decided I'm going to spend like 1 hour maximum a day for cleaning, not 4, 5, 6 hours non-stop cleaning, because that 4, 5, 6 hours, if I'm cleaning, just that 4, 5, 6 hours, I'm taking off from my kids. That 4 hours, I'm not working on my business. On that 4 hours, I'm not taking a rest. On that 4 hours, I'm not doing anything that makes me happy. So I want you to know what's important in your life. And now the other thing is what you think about, because lots of people telling each other that, oh, why are you so depressed? It's just like, oh, drama, 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 drama. Nothing to be depressed by when you're having a baby, but they don't know the situation you are in. everybody is different. They don't know where you come from. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you've been done before. And they don't know what was the price for having the baby. They don't know how big passion, how important thing you've given up to having a family. So they have no right to judge you about how you're feeling or what are you doing and how. So being depressed, especially after birth, being depressed is really common in the world. And it's because we females have lots of things to do in general. And then when it comes to pregnancy, our whole body change, our hormones changing, that alone could be enough for someone to be depressed. For example, picture the image like you are top model. You've been paid for making photographs of yourself, how you look like, and then you end up being pregnant and you, for some reason, you gain 20 or 30 kg during the pregnancy. Let's say you wasn't well, or you developed diabetic um, developed to be diabetic during your pregnancy, then you're gaining weight, and then you end up no way to losing that back. And it causes you not just hating how you look like, not just hating what you become after what you've been before, because if you've been really beautiful and then you become way different than you've been due to the hormones, for example, having lots of spots and pimples and stuff and gaining weight, then also, if you've been a top model, you could have been losing your job as well. Because, to be honest, if you've been a beautiful person and been a top model, and then you turn to something else, which is still nice and beautiful, but in a different way, they might not going to pay you to do the jobs what you did before. So that causes lots of tension and lots of things to think through and lots of bad feelings about your situation, which can lead to depression. So just be mindful, and if someone tells you anything, someone judges you about how you're feeling, what you're doing, just let it come in here and let it go there. You know your life. You know what you've been through. You know where you're at, and you know the price of what you had to pay to have your family. So let you have the decision what you need to do and what you need to think in your life. So this is where I reach my tip number 3 of how to fight depression and postnatal depression. And my tip number 3 is to schedule a me time in your life. Even if it's just half an hour or 1 hour a day, it's really important to spend time with something that you really enjoy, what you're really passionate about, something when you just have fun with, when you relax, when you know you're doing something that brings you joy. Otherwise, you end up burning out yourself. If you just do the chores non-stop, you just do the housework, do the caring for the kids, do the shopping, do the cooking, everything, do the work if you're working from home, and you're not doing any single thing for yourself, you're going to burn out really quickly. So I want you to think through what is the first thing which comes in your mind when you're thinking of your passion. What do you like to do? Is it dancing? Is it singing? Is it writing, reading, watching the latest drama? Is it, I don't know, art, painting, crafting, putting on a makeup, or whatever it is? You need to find time for yourself to do that. For some good techniques to solve stress and emotional overload, to avoid getting depression or to cure depression in one way, is, for example, writing. There is a reason why shops sell so many diaries, so many notebooks, so many scrapbooks, anything, because people need them. When you write things down, you make your mind work the things through. So by the time you're writing and you finish your writing, your mind will come up with some solution of your problem, probably. If not, then at least you clear up your mind a little bit. If you write down all of your problems, all the situations you are in, you will research your emotions, you will research your own situation, and you will figure out what you have to do in order to solve the issue you're having. And the good thing about having a notebook is you can tell it anything. Anything is in your heart. If you're happy, if you're angry, if you're feeling shit, anything, you can just write down. And if you wanted to, you keep it safe. Nobody can read it but you. And you can shout with it. You can swear at it. You can do anything. And it will be there for you for later to protest if you couldn't solve the issue yet. That way you don't forget to address the issues you're having. That way you will always have a memory, you will always know that you have a certain issues in your life what you need to solve. And when you write this all out, you release lots of tension by just letting it go from yourself. Another thing is art. I have recently finished a CPD diploma in art therapeutic life coaching, and I just learned a whole lot of things about that, like the colors, the importance of using of colors, the mandalas, all the lots of stuff you can do with art. You can put your emotions into an art product even if you're not really arty at all. I love art, so I probably easily do that. For example, if I'm happy, I would definitely use bright colors, like rainbow kind of colors, lots of glittery, shiny things, definitely, or something nice. Sorry. But if I'm sad, I'm most probably not going to be so colorful, not going to be painting of flowers or whatever. I'm definitely most probably going to paint, I don't know, rainy weather or something really sad. And then one more thing is really therapeutic is song and music. I use music as a therapy a lot in my life. When I'm happy, I put on happy music and dance around with it or sing the song with it. And I do my chores that way, and I'm a bit quicker that way. That gives me power to work through my weakness. Because it's really important as well to address what's our weaknesses and what's our strengths, so then we can work a little bit on our weakness but concentrate on the strengths in our life. And so going back to this music, if I would be angry, I would put up rock music, for example, and I shout as loud as I can when I sing it along. So again, I'm not shouting with someone else, I'm shouting at the song and releasing the tension from my head, what I have from the overloaded emotions and situation and stress in my life. And when I'm really sad or just feeling down or whatever it is, I put romantic music or something which brings me back some memories in my life to make me cry. Yeah, you heard it. I make myself cry when I'm really under the weather. Because crying is again a way of releasing tension. When you fully overload and you can't carry it anymore, there should be some way to let it go. And crying is one way. I remember in my school I heard a story. It was about a little boy who, I don't know who wrote the story. I can't remember the full quotation, but it was about a boy who was met with God, and he asked him about his mother. He asked, "Why did you created my mom like this? Why is she look like and act like, and why is she like she is?" And then God said, "I created a woman with 2 arms to be able to hug the whole world. Then I gave the woman a big heart, a huge heart, to be able to spread love all around the world and all around wherever she goes. And then I give her a big and clever brain which can think in a very, very, very quick way. I can't even think of a number in English. Um, so I give her a mind that can think amazingly to solve others' problems." And then the child asks again and shows a teardrop in her mother's eye. And then he say, "Oh God, if it's so perfect what you created, why is it leaking?" And then God said, I put so much weight on the female shoulders that it can sometimes cause really big pressure. And so to release that pressure, I give her a gift. I give her the gift of tears. So she's able to cry to get that tension down, to release some tension. So that's about me time. So I was mentioning you have to schedule me time. That brings me my tip number 4, which is all about scheduling. But let me know if you got some good value of this video already. If you did, awesome! Can you please share this video with some of your friends who you know would be grateful to have some tips like this? I would be really grateful if I could help more mothers in the world to fight their depression, because it's such important such important topic is really, really extremely important to talk about this. So tip number 4 is scheduling. And I just want you to know that all the successful people in the world, they do scheduling in a daily basis. And even if you don't think that, oh, I need a schedule because I'm business or whatever, having a schedule is the best way to create a peaceful life for yourself. If you have a calendar, take one page with 1 week on it, and you write down everything that you already know you must do. Let's say dropping the kids off school, picking the kids up from school, half an hour before and after to get ready and go, and things like that. Breakfast, lunch, cooking the meal, cleaning the house. If you put all these scheduled in the calendar, then you can figure out what time left that you can use for your me time. That way, you know how much time you will have for each task. For example, when I scheduled my calendar, that was the way how I figured out that I only have 1 hour for cleaning my house. And so I find out that I can only do this if I sustain the cleanliness as much as possible, and only do 1 deep clean in a week, like in a weekend. And then daytime I do a morning cleaning, and I do a cleaning before bed if needed. Now, I'm not saying if, for example, your kid vomiting in a carpet, you have to leave it there. Definitely you need to clean it up, but I'm not planning my schedule to be blocked out 4 hours for cleaning in a day, because that's, I mentioned before, is a waste of my time. The importance of scheduling is it brings you a different mindset. When you schedule a me time in your calendar, it works just like an appointment. Everybody, when you have an appointment for a GP or anything, what you're going to do? You're going to write it down on a calendar. You're going to write down which day, how, what time you will have that appointment, and you make sure you're not planning anything on that time. Same exact thing happen if you have a schedule in your life. I want you to think of the things you put in your calendar like they are appointments. They are important parts of your life. If you put your me time 2 p.m. every day, let's say, you need to make sure that you block that 1 hour out for yourself and you don't plan anything else in there. That way you will always have time for yourself, which is really, really extremely important. So we reached our last tip number 5 of how to fight postnatal depression or depression in general. And tip number 5 is socializing, going out, getting out from your house. As I mentioned before, I felt like being in a jail when I was all the time in my house, surrounded by the four walls, having no one to talk to, and doing all the chores all by myself because my husband needed to work a lot. And then when he was finally at home, he needed to sleep to be able to go to work again. So eventually, I ended up doing everything, parenting, cleaning, cooking, everything all by myself. And then I also started a business on the way, so I had an extra thing to do as well. So I ended up being kind of isolated by not having any social interaction, and it could be really daunting when you have no one to talk to. You just stop talking, or I don't know, it's feeling, for me it was a really bad feeling that I had no one to talk to all day long. So it's really important to go get out there, go to parenting groups, go to baby groups, go to, I don't know, classes if they have crash within or something, go to the gym, go to walking groups, go somewhere to do something what you like. Go shopping with your child, go for a walk with your child, or anything. Do something that you like with people who you like. You need to have friends. In order to fight depression, you need someone to help you. You need someone who can support you because it's really hard fight. And friends are there for you. You need to know that friends are always there for you. Good friends will be always there for you. Good friends are there for you to talk to tell them your problems. They might have solution what you don't think of. If you go to these parenting groups, there are lots of specialist people who can help you. They can show you the way where you can get more support. If you talk with your GP, they will let you know where can you get some support on solving your emotional overload, solving your depression. You just need to get out there, get out of your comfort zone and start talking to people. Most probably you have some friends to talk to. If you not, then you have to start making friends. Friends are really great to be there for you if you need them. Even if they just lend you a shoulder to cry on, or even if they just listen when you're whining about your life. They might have a solution what you don't think of. Or you can maybe ask them around for half an hour to look after your child so you can have that me time if you don't have enough time. But it's extremely important to not isolate yourself and stuck in your own home jail. So Thank you very much for listening and joining in today. That was my 5 tips about how to fight depression and postnatal depression. So if you like this video, if you find any good value in it, please do share with your friends who you think will be benefit from this. As I mentioned before, I really like to help other people, other mothers, to live their life enjoyable without depression, of course. And if you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, more functional tips and more tactical tips for mothers who is living at home with their kids and might be doing business from home, especially now in COVID-19, most of us going to do this way. We have no choice other than that. Lots of us, lots of us losing our jobs, lots of us being put to furlough and have no idea what's going to happen later on. So I imagine lots of the people started working from home right now. So if you wanted to have some more tips on how to balance the life as a busy mom with your kids, to have tips to get them quickly ready to school, tips to entertain them at home, how to get them better in their developmental skills, what tips or tactics and toys and I don't know, art materials you can use to help them develop their skills, and how to be more relaxed, how to manage your business life and personal life better, and how to fit everything together, then please do subscribe, because there are more videos like this coming up in the future. So I'm really happy that you watched this video, and thank you very much for your attention, and see you next time. Bye.